Hi everybody, welcome to the United Stand. Pep Guardiola's taken a dig at Manchester United, saying that we spend money and we need to spend more money, and also that winning the Carabao Cup is like a day at the office for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. Pep Mardiola, as I call him. He's more bitter than a lemon drizzle cake, isn't he? I mean, he's just so predictable. I'm here for this. I'm here for this. Winning the Carabao Cup was nice. Still having opportunities to win other cups is nice. But Pep is rattled. You better believe it. I mean, people are saying, oh, it was a sly dig and a bit of humour. Humour and Pep Guardiola is about as funny as the 6 o'clock news. He ain't got any banter. So let's not pretend he's the banter king. He's not about banter. He's about being rattled. And basically what he said was this, if you've not seen it. He was asked if Man United could now kick on and become serious title challengers after winning the Carabao Cup. And Guardiola joked. He didn't joke. He said, if they spend a little bit more money, yes, it's because they didn't spend any money, isn't it? Smiley face. He then also described the Carabao Cup final as another day at the office. I mean, I don't know where he's coming from here, I don't know where he's coming from apart from a point of bitterness, because this is a guy who is without doubt a very, very good manager, but his whole career has been based on Messi and a checkbook, an open checkbook. I mean, his first job was Barcelona, where he inherited some of the best players that's ever played the game. Let's be honest, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, and Lionel Messi, and the rest. So look, harder to fail than be successful. Let's be honest with you. Goes to Bayern Munich, a one-horse race with an open checkbook, and then comes to Man City with an open checkbook. He's just bitter. He's just bitter and jealous of Manchester United. He's always moaning about fans not turning up at the Man City games, the atmosphere. He's moaning about the charges, and now he's worried. Now what's really rattled him is the fact that if Man United get bought by Qatar, his advantage is gone. And what really rattles him as well is that he doesn't get any credit for the job that he's done at Man City, because people always say he's done it with money, which he has. Which he's now trying to say, well, Man United have done it with money because they don't spend money. He's being sarcastic, but there's a very big difference here. And again, it's taken the piss out of the level of intelligence in football, because especially with football fans, because Man United have spent money. Yeah, I admit it. Have we spent the money that Man City have spent? No. Have we spent it as well as Man City? No. So what are you talking about? When he says, oh, it's because if they spend a bit more money, they might be successful because they've not had any money, he's being sarcastic because he doesn't like the fact that everyone says about him, Man City win because of money. So he's trying to say, well, Man United have had money as well and not been successful. But that's not because of you, Pep. Lesson here is that's because of the people who own your club. We've been run by Prats. Man City have been run very, very well. And United may as well have chucked the £1 billion on a fire and let it burn. Whereas your club has spent it well. That's the difference. Money, in fact, I think this is a great point. Money means nothing if you don't spend it well. Man City have spent their money well. Manchester United have spent it badly. The reason Man City have been successful is because they've spent that money well. Manchester United spent it badly. And the reason Man United are now being successful is because they've got a good coach. And also, Man City have got a good coach. And that's why Pep Guardiola is rattled, because Man United have got a good coach now. And that's why Pep's, taking digs at United about being wealthy, because he's sort of saying, well, look, I've done well with money and they haven't. But the reality is we've never had good people running our club. We've never had a good coach. And now we have. And he's rattled because he knows Ten Hag is fighting him with nowhere near the revenue, the money that he's had spent on his team, Pep. And also, if we do get new owners, there's going to be a level playing field. Pep's never gone toe-to-toe with anyone on a level playing field in the Premier League. Tell me a team that's gone at Pep on a level playing field. Arsenal are not on a level playing field at all. Nowhere near. Arteta is Pep's. I nearly said bitch. I don't mean that. I mean, it's his protege. It's his assistant. Arsenal are seen as a mini Man City by many people because Arteta wants to copy Pep and wants to play like that. And yet, in no time at all, Arsenal are actually ahead of Man City. They're not a level playing field. Arsenal haven't got the money that Man City have got. Liverpool pushed Pep a couple of times, but they don't have the revenue. I don't know why I'm saying the word revenue. I think it's because, I don't know why I'm saying that. They don't have the finances that Man City have got. Man United don't spend as much as Man City, don't care what anyone says, but also spend it badly. And Chelsea are spending it badly. So, look, Pep Guardiola is rattled because he knows if Jurgen Klopp had the checkbook that he's got, and Ten Hag gets the checkbook he's got, and maybe Arteta gets it down the line, suddenly Pep Guardiola is a very good coach on a level playing field. He's spent the last few years being a very, very good coach with an advantage. And when that advantage goes, this is when you start to get these things. I don't for 1 minute think Pep Guardiola was joking. I think there's joking and there's bitterness, and I think he came across as bitter. And as for describing the Carabao Cup as another day at the office, he basically said, when we first won the Carabao Cup, it was really exciting, but then when you've won it 3 or 4 times, it's just another day at the office. Well, what did you do? Just phone in sick then? Didn't notice you in the final this year, mate. I mean, what's your point? Another day at the office. You're not even in it. Oh, we didn't want to win it this year. Oh, that's a good message to send to your fans, isn't it? You know, we're so bored of winning the Carabao Cup, we can't be asked to win it anymore. What a winning mentality that is. You see, I can joke as well. But look, the reality is, Pep Guardiola took the Carabao Cup very, very seriously. He probably, in all fairness, made the Carabao Cup relevant again. You know, you look at the final last year, Liverpool won it, Liverpool-Chelsea in the final. You look at the final this year, you know, whatever you thought about the quality of the game, it was a sellout between 2 clubs that are on the up. Man City have not been in the last 2 finals, but replacing them in those finals is Liverpool and Manchester United as winners, and it meant a lot to Liverpool last year, and it meant a lot to Manchester United this year. So you know, I just think, look, I think this is a positive. I think this is a positive for Arsenal. It's a possible positive for Manchester United. And it's a positive to any other club that can get into that race, because I think football might be changing into a situation where Pep Guardiola is still a fantastic manager. There's no doubt about that. He's arguably the best manager in the world. But he's had a huge advantage, and he's starting to realise that that advantage could slip away. The charges, the fact that Arsenal and Man United have got really good coaches, and the other threat is that big wealth is coming into Newcastle. It could be coming into Manchester United. It could be coming into Liverpool. It might come into Arsenal. They're 3 big concerns for Pep, who, to be honest with you, has always had, you know, a get out of jail free card, hasn't he? And that might be being torn up very, very soon. So I think it's good for football. And I think that Pep being a little bit rattled, I don't think he's been rattled. I've said this so many times. I don't know why. I saw Ten Hag, you know, a bit of mind games in the press conference for the final. I saw Tuchel and Conte at the start of the season, you know, sort of having a bit of a, you know, back and forth. I think these things are still really important in football, and I just think Pep Guardiola's had his feet up for the last few years. I never understood why Klopp never really tried a bit of mind games with him. Mourinho didn't really do it when he was at Man United, and I think the reason Mourinho and Klopp didn't do it, because they do like mind games, is because they probably knew that Pep was too powerful in a position that where he's got all the cards. If you get that down to a level playing field, I think you can get it Pep, and I think you can get it Man City. So I'm all for it. And I think, to be honest with you, I think Arsenal and Man United are already getting at him a little bit. Of course, he could still go and win the treble. He can still win the FA Cup, he can still win the Champions League, and he still win the Premier League. But it's good to see him being rattled. And as you know, one man's joke is another man's fear. And I think there's more fear than joking from Pep there. I think he can see his dominance could be disappearing, and that leaves him exposed. It'd be interesting to see how long he stays at Man City if people start, you know, competing with him properly. But look, get your comments in below, smash a like on the video, and make sure you subscribe. Interesting, very interesting.